All right. So we had retail data that we were waiting on this morning. It came in effectively flat. I think the data is not something that by itself can stimulate the dollar to fucking move higher like a psycho. Just can't. Try to. It's pulling back now. Looks like we could get, in theory, as long as everything just stays exactly the way it is now, a fairly decent sell on the dollar today. It's kind of what I'm looking for, kind of what I'm thinking. We're getting a nice pump coming into the open, which, as Mr. Filano pointed out, is a very rare bird. Very rare, very rare. Everybody take a picture, put it in your scrapbook. We have green candles instead of red candles on open. Really, really weird. Really weird. But make sure you get that picture. Snap it. I don't know. I haven't seen the data on banks. I don't know if they've reported. If they have, they haven't had an adverse
They have.
effect to.
At
They
least
have.
JPM did. Wells Fargo did.
I was looking at the charts. It's like it doesn't look like anything happened when I was looking at it. I
Pretty
was
sure
like,
they
okay,
both. Yeah.
so maybe nothing happened. Because I look at JPM this morning and it's basically flat. Can't get
Yeah,
any
I
flatter
think
than that.
I was reading, it was. I got up at 3 o'clock this morning for European Open, and then went back to bed, and then got back up. Uh, unless I was looking at an old report or something, but it looked like JPM beat, and I think Wells Fargo missed.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, that's good. I guess we'll take whatever green candle we can come up. At least I will, whatever we can come up with. So from the standpoint overall, the narrative we have, earnings season is kicking off, right? So next week, Tesla reports. I'm sure there's some others that report that are in addition to Tesla next week. I'm looking for some type of a covering rally on Tesla. They've beat her into the ground. That thing was a month ago was over 300. Now we are where we are. So let's see what happens with that. Several other names that could be interesting with the semi space being completely destroyed. Again, we have to start seeing maybe some type of covering, some type of something within some of the tech names going into ER. I would be shocked if we didn't. So that's what I'm going to be looking at most specifically today is tech to see what type of a move we can get off of this. It's really, really interesting, Bender. It's not as if we've had anything really, really, really brilliant come through that is helpful for bulls over the last 2 days. Right? Nothing really great.
As far as macro,
Yeah, nothing.
yeah.
It's like the data yesterday was not good data. Really wasn't. We have to be now we have to be very, very tentative to listening to the messaging coming out. I know Elizabeth Warren picked up her pressure last night and is probably going to continue to beat on the Fed going into midterms. She came out pretty hard last night. Let's see if some of that messaging filters through, which, I think there could be something, and I say Elizabeth Warren, right? And everybody sits there and rolls their eyes. Well, not everybody. The majority of people in this room probably roll their eyes and get all clenched up and all that kind of stuff. You don't necessarily have to like the individual to, at a minimum, in some capacity, have an appreciation for the policy or what they're trying to say. You don't have to love them. You don't have to vote for them. But you can be like, hey, at least there's somebody there, saying, hey, Fed, you're kind of fucking everybody over here. That's what she's doing. Maybe somebody else joins in. Maybe not. You getting close to
Yeah.
drawing lines over there? I'm running out of things to babble
I'm good.
about.
I'm good. Yeah.
All right. With that being said, Binda, what you got in them lines?
Yeah. So we're currently sitting. Let's see, where are we? Nice pop. 37.20. I am still long. I will look to. I may take some of this off at the open. Uh, this level right here, 37.20 to 37.25, is pretty important for us to break. I don't know that we're going to get above 25 on the first attempt. The reason I say that is because 37.20 is an area of previous resistance, and 37.25 is the 20-day moving average. And a lot of times we will not, break that on the first attempt, but we'll see what they do with it. If we get above 37.25, you got 37.44 trendline resistance, and then if we can pop that, previous level of resistance 37.64, and then I'll provide some targets above that if we manage to get up there. We just popped 25. Let's see if we can hold it. Yeah.
One thing for sure is volume is not light.
Good.
Volume is most certainly over 4 million shares traded pre-market so far. That's fairly massive.
There's a lot of forced buying that is happening. I don't know how long it continues, but there's a lot of forced buying that is happening. If we start to give this, some of this move, we start to give it back up, the levels that I had typed out, which I may need to adjust them because they are getting further away. Obviously 3,700 whole number, and then kind of previous levels of resistance, 3688, 3672, and then that 3660 to 62 area is the big one. Call it whatever you would like to call it: power line, beef line, crack line, whatever you want to call it. I don't care. That's the big one. Let me get. Why don't you go to Stockington, and I'll post.
Okay. Hi, Stockington. How are you this morning, Stockington?
Hello.
I saw last night you were giving more political advice. You're really, really fine-tuning for your campaign manager position over there. You're really, really pulling it together, man. Quite proud of you.
Thank you. Yeah,
I think you also may want to add to it, even admit to the things that you didn't do. I think you might want to add that in there.
Or might do in the future.
Correct. Just go. You cover it all out. Just cover it all out.
I think I could be the campaign manager, but you could be like the guy behind. You could be like the fixer, right? Like
honestly, that is probably my dream job. If there's a dream job for me, it would to be the guy that nobody knows, that sits there and pulls strings like that. That gives messaging, that does that nobody knows. Nobody knows. That is my dream job, if I had a dream job.
Perfect. Well, the networking is complete, so you've got your spot. You can, be puppet mastering, and I'll be out there telling
This is amazing. I'm so excited. This is great. Do I turn in my resignation today, or do we have to wait a little bit?
We'll start. What do? We need to get our super PAC funding going, right?
Okay. So when do you do that?
We'll get these levels going, and that'll help us.
All right. Very good.
Right. All right. So I'm actually kind of doing the frantically adjusting too as we rip. So here they are. Hi, Fulano. Yeah, something's back. Okay, so I'm kind of like adjusting these on the fly. Tesla, we've been talking about this falling wedge all week, and we broke it. So let's see if we can get some continuation to the upside. I'm digging quickly back and found this line 224.75, kind of just right where we paused just now. So if we can pop that, see if we can get continuation, and then to the downside, I'll be looking at 220.35 came into play pre-market. Nvidia stalled out at 122 flat psych level here pre-market, so let's see if we can break that to continue up upside. And then I have 120.75, basically yesterday's high that we could be looking at, potentially take Nvidia short. Netflix on this move up is stalling out at a dark pool as well as a fib that I have. Basically, this 238.66 was the dark pool, and then there was also a dark pool that kind of was right up there near yesterday's high, 235.11.
And Netflix did announce their subscription model, right? The $6.99 a month
Yeah,
for,
ads stuff. That was,
for paid ads, which, you know, let's see how that plays out. I personally, I think it is really, really smart of them to finally embrace that. I think it's the only move that they currently have to stay relevant and to stay profitable in some capacity. So I would imagine it's still going to take a couple of quarters to for that revenue to kind of show up and be realized, if you will. But yeah, kind of like the spec there, if we can get a stabilized market.
yeah, I mean it's been on fire, so it's great for option scalps and everything. And then the only other thing I had was it was a pretty weak night in terms of dark pools, but we did get this one line on American Express. So if that's something that you watch, I'll just drop this one in the chat. Otherwise, it was pretty quiet on the dark pool side.
All right. So again, that data came out this morning on retail. Again, it was there's just really nothing there that you can extrapolate, which means with the dollar being elevated the way it is selling back down. So we came up and we tried to play with 113, 15, 113.20 in there, rejected that area, and we are now lower than where we were when retail sales initially came out. In theory, this level down around here, this 112, say 25-ish, 112.30, could be a little bit problematic to snap on first attempt. Could be. And most certainly, once we start getting down into 112, that's going to be a tough nut to crack. So we'll see what additional information and data we get coming out. I think global messaging in through here is gonna be fairly important. And we do have Fed speakers firing off today throughout the day. So there is that also. We also get consumer expectations, inflation expectations, 30 minutes after open. That is a thing. So let's keep all that in mind. Those have a tendency to make the dollar move pretty heavily. Keep it in mind as we start approaching 30 minutes. Got anything else for us, buddy?
Nothing for me.
Did you were going to post something, weren't you?
Yeah, I'm still kind of putting it together. 36.90 is the 20 MA and the 60 minute. So if we go down and test 3700, maybe break below it, watch 3689. A lot of times that's where we'll get the bounce. And
Okay.
I gave the levels on the other side, 37.25 being the 20 MA on the daily, and that 37.44 trend line resistance, and then I'll give some stuff above that.
Okay. Is anybody else in the room? Do they have anything they want to offer? Anything they want to put out there for us to keep an eye on? Yeah, I guess we'll see, Aviator One. I don't know, man. Just don't know. It's like there's a lot of covering that needs to be done, in my opinion, before ER for a lot of these names. So we'll see what kind of a move we can get. It's like a close over 370 today is going to make that weekly chart look, playable. if by miracle we can really push and get a move up closer to 380, that chart is going to look fantastic on the weekly. So I don't know. I guess we'll see when we get there. We'll try to be diligent with flow, try to be on point today. Yeah. Let's see what we got. That's all I got. Thank you, Bender. Thank you, Mr. Stockington. We'll see you guys in about 24 minutes or so.
See you in a few.